Alright there. Yeah, this one is about what happens when the democratic countries eventually start hitting 51% no vote democratically. Now what? Now what happens? And this is where I have been meditating on this for about 10 years or so, nearly 9, 10 years. So, what does happen? You see, what do the people want? What do us, the people, want? Why aren't you voting? I don't vote, so I'm part of the unheard third. But what when that unheard third that is, becomes the unheard half, you see? And this is coming down the road, you see? In the facts and stats of the trends, this is starting to happen, and more people are coming away from this world's politics of a democracy, you see, which is really just deceitful monetary capitalistic communism, right? Let's face it, some people are still in denial of that in the penal system are in, right? But the reality is, this is what basically it is, right? It's an enslavement. You're enslaved at the moment, pretty much, in a 48-week system of working on a pay-as-you-earn and a 4-week holiday for most people generally, right? Not all the rest of the people that are making money that are famous, become famous, born rich. I'm talking about everyone else who's basically most of us as voters in democratic countries who are working pay as you earn or you're unemployed and you're not working but you're on a very basic Carly age package tour, right, which it is, right, which is not getting much money, right. So whatever way, working, not working, you're enslaved financially, you're limited, you're chained, right. We know this, right, I know this, they know this as rulers. We've got to break their system, which is already going to happen naturally, you see, by the facts and stats that are happening in the trend. The UK, for example, is about 18, 19 million people not voting. The 48 million adults in this country that can vote, about 18, 19 million of us aren't voting. Now, what happens when 5 million of us get to 51%? You see, now what? What are we going to do? What's the plan, Stan? What is it? You see, at the end of the day, to me, we've got to come together and thinking, because it start to think, well, what do you want? You see, now we haven't got a plan, well, they'll continue to roll. Do you understand? Like Brexit, how many times was that best out of three until they got what they wanted, or whatever it is in Brexit, in and out, shake it all about, whatever way. It's a financial clout for us, the workers, of 48 weeks and the 4-week holiday. What's changed for you? Nothing. So they'll do the same in general election. You see, they're corrupt. They want to keep their power. And what it is interesting, because when you push it to the line to get to 51%, we see how democratic it is and how corrupt it is, as we already know within, but how to show their manifestation of their corruption even more, not giving back the power, has been beat them, and when their fortification has been beaten, you see, by lawful rebellion of no vote. With 51% of the householders of us stop voting. What are we going to do? Now, I suggest a 5-step plan, which is like the 5-sided of a pyramid system, which everyone talks about, oh, well, the system's a pyramid system, man. Well, yeah, okay, it is, and you could look at it that way. 5 levels, whatever way you want to look at it. And I look at it as 5 sides of the pyramid, but no one talks about it being 5-sided in the sense of, well, what each side represents. Let's just take it that way. Say one side is the political system. So we stop voting to 51%, that's step 1. So now what? Step 2. Become neutral is the other side of a military offensive war in order, and we want to be a neutral country and white helmet ourselves as military, right? Air, land and sea. Step 3 would be becoming non-monetary from a banking system. Now the banking system is getting closed by us because we want to become non-monetary, clearing all the debts. You see, consolidating all housing and relevant first estate industries into the first estate that has been hijacked, you see, by a banking system and a government. They've been removed now by step 1 and step 3. Step 4 would be in human resources, the other side of the pyramid, we could say. We could say, instead of it being 48-4 in the human resources of rostering, we could say we work 13 weeks by 4 people. So it's a natural seasonal template roster. You see, so you work 13 weeks by 4 people, and every duty now relevant keeping, you see, in a non-monetary system. So all that's left standing in the wheat and the chaff of services is what we serve, you see, in all local areas across the country and countries eventually, you see. And then you choose, if it's a job, it's 13 weeks. If it's a career, 26 weeks or 39 weeks. But you must have 13 weeks off, you see, even if you are working the full-time 39. So you have some respite, you have some life, even if you've got your career that's most fulfilling. Most people won't have a career. Most people don't have a career now, and even on the other side, you won't have a career. For most people in a dharmic system, a career system, most people still be in a job. But you see, the resolve, the original resolution, the resolve is that you work for 13 weeks, one season, and you get 39 weeks back to yourself, you know, within that year, whatever season you're doing, the first, second, third or fourth, but you will get 3 seasons back to yourself. That's the original compromise and resolution to this, you see. We're in for seasonal nature, so let's serve in for seasonal nature. Everybody will be happier. Things will be improved because it's non-monetary. Money's no object. So any problems there is in all posts and positions, that all of us could tell you a problem probably where you work, where something needs to be improved, but to lack of funds or whatever it is, corruption, whatever, legal profiteering, red tape, you tell me, you know, it all gets removed because money's no object. Now we can reach into these places, whatever it is as a problem, and fix because it's free. You know, step 5, I would say, to criminalise all drugs and have more long-term and short-term retreats for people. 24-hour priories that you can pretty much get to straight away if you really need to get off the streets and basically dry out, to long-term retreats where you need to stay there a bit longer and mentally fortify yourself till you can get back out on the streets and say no to your addiction. Because this is a legal thing, to criminalising drugs, this then reviews the legal system. Now, what is legal in a non-monetary world? You know, see, the 2 bankers and the government's been removed, but the legal system gets reviewed. So that's the 5-step plan in its simplicity. It's a very simple plan. The conversation continues in everyone else, but if you can see that simplicity, how we move, because that's basically what is over us anyway, that we just got to rebel against as a 5-plan system, that pyramid system. That's how you just basically decalcified it, removed it, whatever way you want to look at it, and you basically called the system, you see, from the heat of the system that it is at the moment. That's how you do it, you know, simplistically, pragmatically. It's a long-term game, but this could happen any time from 5 years, next general election, to next 50 years as a window space. Once you can understand and recognise this, and basically this is the plan that we all need to sort of like agree on when you look at things realistically. You know, you can, you know, analyse this, tell me I'm talking rubbish, but when it comes down to it, you know, kill it, whatever, and it will still stand in the reality and pragmaticness when you really think about it, because that's all you can do, you see. And it gives everybody back eventually our freedom, which is our right to have a flow state system, which is a Kriya Yuga, a flow state economics service, you know, between one another, not an ebb state you're in now. You know, the perpetual depression of a secular system, you see. I mean, your life might be right. It's, you know, it's free to me. I say it's 3 heavens and hells. So it's the self, mind, body and soul, spirit, mind, body. The social life, that can be your sex life, your family life, your friends' life, then the colleagues, that goes into the secular. The secular moment is held by corrupt governmental banking world order, you see, that just profiteering off our backs to make us work hard unnecessarily for living life, just being taxpayers. I don't want thinkers, I just want slaved employees, you see. So this is what we've got to break, you see. And how we do that is by lawfully not voting in. This is the only way that we can do things, when we will actually hit one day, within these next 50 years, a 51% no vote. Now what? And now what happens when you're the first country as well, you see? Because to be the first country, you know, you're going to be like, you know, the very pioneer, you know, against a world that's still monetary, you know. as a trend, and you're that first country, because it's going to happen. It's coming down the road. That's another subject, basically, the first country and how you're going to deal with that. And more people that start to see these vlogs and think about these things would be appreciated, and for our own salvation, for us now generations and the generations to come. But this is coming, and what we're going to do about it. I'll give you a 5-step plan, and the conversation continues in all of you. Anyway, catch you later. Have a nice day.